शिल्पा शेट्टी का पति मेरे को बोल रहा है, वी थिंक यू आर शोमैन और आई थिंक यू आर द शोमैन. आई वाज लाइक, यार दिस बंदे ने मेरा कितना कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा दिया. आई वाज फीलिंग मच स्मॉलर.
If you've seen the first couple of episodes, she has even gone strong on her auntie, saying, I think it's you because you said this, you said that. उसने अपनी आंटी को नहीं छोड़ा, तो best friend तो दूर की बात है.
I'm somebody who's gonna trust women blindly. If you tell me, I'm gonna be like, I'm with you, sister. I'm your sister. You know what I mean? I'm that guy.
You to move 2 inches to your left so your framing is right. Thank you. There you go. So we can see all your
टीचर जी,
It was
sexy
bothering me
teacher.
that I had to.
इस शो के बाद भी 2 महीने रो ही रहा था जब मुझे एलनाज से एक माफीनामा भी नहीं आया. रात से तो मैंने एक्सपेक्ट ही नहीं किया था, उनको मैं जानता ही नहीं था. He just didn't like my face.
Hello, Raji, Lakshmi, Sahil. Welcome to IWMBuzz. How are you guys?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Komal.
Yeah, good. Really good.
Firstly, I want to know, कल ही episodes release हुए हैं. अब तक तो आपको बहुत सारे reactions मिले होंगे. क्या लगता है? Heads up मिला है show को?
Ladies first, Lakshmi.
Are you kidding me? This is going to be the biggest reality TV content that India has seen in the longest time. I've been telling everybody about it because as a producer, also myself, when I was explaining what the show is to other people, there are so many layers to it. I know the easiest way to say it is it's like mafia, but in that, the way they have cracked it for television is unbelievable. I mean, this is going to surpass, in spite of it being on an OTT platform, it's going to surpass all your TV reality shows also, I think, because the content is so strong.
Raj, you were telling me about how Shilpa gave you approval that she liked the show. Tell us more about it.
I think such shows now, we just want to make sure that we look good when we're coming on a show like this, because a lot of reality shows can really damage reputation and not make things any better. So Shilpa just wanted to see how I'm being perceived. She watched it as an audience. She was hooked. We started episode 1 and she watched all 3 episodes back to back. And this is not Shilpa. I mean, for her and me, we watch 1 episode of something every night. To watch 3 back to back means she really enjoyed the show. So not because I am on it, but the fact that it was engaging every step of the way. Something was happening, and she liked the title I gave the show. It's a Kalyuka show. So we're watching it because 1 minute you have a friend in the morning, and by evening, backstabber.
How the people around you reacted to it? Did they like the show? Did they
Yes,
like you in the
yes,
show?
they like the show, but I don't think I would do any reality show again with any men on board. Because even if you think like Raj didn't have a reason to kill me. Raj was telling me how he's been to jail and how he's had such a tough life, and I was very empathetic, right? Throughout the show, Amazon couldn't put everything out, but I hope they do, because that's the whole magic of reality. You see whose heart is how black or white or red rather. That's the idea. So I would never do a show if there are men on it. I would only do a show with the girls because the girls were very supportive and they were saying very nice things, but they were also not there. The reason I don't know if I deserve to be killed by my best friend of 8 years, who's not Raj, so obviously who's Elnaaz. None of that footage is out. That's our life together that Elnaaz and I have shared, which is on my phone. I was that friend at 12 with a cake at her house, the only friend. Fame, or what is popularity? What is when you leave a country, when you leave your family and you come to a new city like Bombay, that's when you gain family, friends like family. And if you kill them in episode 1 because Raj is telling you to, then what is your loyalty in life? Like, then you are loyal to a Raj Kundrra or his understanding of life, or how he's lived his life. That's how you see yourself living a life. This is for Elnaaz. None of that footage is out on my Instagram. It will come out, of course, because I also want to give my side of the story, that sometimes now it's okay to be groomed for an Indian man. That doesn't make you more macho. What makes you more macho or Punjabi is how clean your heart is. That's what makes you a cool Indian man in today's time. And people can see through. And the feedback for me has been very positive. Of course, there's a lot of sympathy, like there's Matam. But we are all here for many, many years, and we all have an opinion and a voice, which should be there. Otherwise, what's the point? You're just a beautiful face, because that's what a lot of people were telling me before the show. That are you? Because for reality, like the people they pick, they don't like dignity. I was like, but sometimes you can make your point points with dignity. You can have a very valid point with dignity. In the house, like I like right now, I'm coming back from Anshula's house. I was chilling at her house, so I did lose like a very close friend, but I did gain some friends. Did I go there to make friends? No. Did I expect Elnaaz or Raj or Purav to kill me in episode 3? Maybe, because Elnaaz could have stood up for me for the first 2 episodes and told the boys that no, he's my closest friend in Bombay who comes to my house 6 times a week. And Raj, I don't know about your career or your background, and likewise, and Purav, you're a great YouTuber, but maybe your content is different. Elnaz and I have spoken about Purav's content, about Aishwarya Rai latrine karti hai, Katrina Kaif latrine karti hai. That's not the content we consume. We are a part of the educated urban India, and our dream is for Indians to be respected. An Indian man and an Italian man should be equally cool. And Indian women anyway are very exotic. They are beautiful. Look at Lakshmi Manchu. Like, she's shiny. She's got big eyes. She's like got beautiful skin. बट इंडियन मैन हम बहुत गिरी हुई कैटेगरी में जा चुके हैं. हमें लगता है कि अगर कोई थोड़ा सा अपने आप को ग्रूम्ड रखा है, बेहतर रखा है, तो ये इसको निकालो, ये हमारे को नहीं चलेगा. तो मेरे साथ आई थिंक वही हो गया. सो आई एम नॉट गोना डू एनी मोर रियलिटी शोज. आई विल, इफ देयर आर मेन, आई विल ओनली डू इट इफ देयर आर वुमेन, बिकॉज आई थिंक वुमेन काइंड ऑफ अंडरस्टैंड. आई एनीवे हैव अ हार्ट ऑफ अ वुमन. मैं मतलब बड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग मर्दाना आदमी हूं, पर मेरा दिल बहुत सेंसिटिव है. मैं इस शो के बाद भी 2 महीने रो ही रहा था जब मुझे एलनाज से एक माफीनामा भी नहीं आया. रात से तो मैंने एक्सपेक्ट ही नहीं किया था, उनको मैं जानता ही नहीं था. ही जस्ट डिडंट लाइक माय फेस, फॉर एग्जांपल.
I loved your face.
Thank you. Now I feel more validated coming from you. You like the George Clooney of India, Raj. Coming from you, I feel validated. And about Purav, I have so much respect for that man, because पूरब और मैं शायद सेम आदमी नहीं है, लेकिन वो लड़का, वो जब ये तीनों ट्रेटर्स रूम में थे, वो मेरे लिए खड़ा हुआ. उसने बोला कि नहीं, ये बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग कंटेस्टेंट है, इसने बहुत अच्छा टास्क किया है, इसको मत निकालो. ये पॉइंट यही नहीं है कि हमें किसका कौन हमें खटक रहा है आंखों में. वो पॉइंट नहीं है इस गेम का. इस गेम का पॉइंट है, जो अगर आपको लगता है मानो आपको मदद नहीं कर पा रहे हैं टास्क में, या आपको पकड़ लेंगे एज अ ट्रेटर बाद में, उसको निकालो. लेकिन ये पर्सनल बात पे चली गई, चाहे नहीं पसंद आया, वाइब नहीं पसंद आई, बहुत स्वीट है, बहुत बात करता है, जो भी है. मैं पहले 2 दिन सबके साथ बहुत नाइस था, but I think that's where I lost. And Purav actually stood up for me even in episode 2, and he told Mukesh Chabra, when Mukesh Chabra said, "Oh, Sahil's probably not adding anything to the game," and he left. And Purav said, "No, he was a good contestant. चाहे वो गेम खेल रहा था, नहीं खेल रहा था, but he saved my pride." Because it's very easy for an above average Indian man to be confused as a stupid man. So that's that. I think I've given you the whole interview in one question.
You seem really pissed right now.
Not
I'm
at
so
all.
sorry.
I've just learned my lessons. Traitors for me was a life lesson.
All right. I
Yes.
think
Yeah, he was
And I
really,
want to
if
add
I
one more
may.
thing. जलील लोगों का कोई जेंडर नहीं होता. 2025 है. जलालत से एक होती है ह्यूमैनिटी और नो ह्यूमैनिटी, लॉयल्टी और नो लॉयल्टी. वो होती है जलालत. तो अगर आप जलील हैं तो आप आदमी भी हो सकते हैं, आप औरत भी हो सकते हैं, वो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अब जलालत का कोई जेंडर नहीं होता. एलनाज का जेंडर वुमन है, लेकिन जलालत वो उनके साथ बिल्कुल अटैच है. तो उसका कोई 2 जेंडर नहीं है. अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है मैं औरत हूं, एलनाज मर्द है, अब आप ये पूरा शो उस तरीके से देखिए, और जो मैं अपनी लाइफ शेयर करूंगा एलनाज दुरूजी के साथ, वो भी आप उस तरह से देखिए, तो आपको समझ आ जाएगा कि आज के टाइम में सिर्फ आदमी ही गलत, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. ऐसा अगर आप किसी को आप माफी तक नहीं आई एम सॉरी नहीं बोल सकते हैं शो के बाद कि मैंने आपके साथ इतना गलत किया. मेरे दोस्त, मैं आपके कमरे में बैठी हुई थी, रूम में, बिफोर वी गॉट इनटू द शो, एंड आप 8 साल से वेगस गए थे हम 2016 में पहली बार, और मुझे लगा राज कुंद्रा मेरे लिए ज्यादा आइडियल, my closer to my heart, and he's what he stands for in life are my ethics. Then sure, like, so be it.
Lakshmi and Raj, what Sahil is saying, do you agree to it somewhere?
I mean, not really. You're on a game show. So, I mean, I understand the pinch because one of his best friends let him down, but that's not the show. There's no collusion allowed. You have to play the show as an individual. So there was a choice. There's 3 people. It was a unanimous decision. All 3 sat down. They decided on one person, and we had to decide on someone that would shock the system. And it did. If you watched the episode, everyone said, the traitors have thrown us off. Jo hame laga traitor hai, wo ho hi nahi sakta. We threw them off, and that was the game plan. So I played the game as a game. With all due respect, it might have been today Sahil, it could have been another individual or anyone. I just found him the most charming, most nice. Women loved him, and I said, ऐसा बंदा अगर बाहर जाएगा, तो everyone's going to say, what the hell just happened? और वही हुआ. You saw the show, you saw the episode. So what we were trying to achieve as traitors, we achieved, and we played the game as a game. It's a game show.
But Sahil, can I first request you to move 2 inches to your left so your framing is right? Thank you. There you go. So we can see all your actions.
Teacher Ji!
It was
Sexy
bothering me,
teacher!
but I had to control
Sexy
myself.
teacher from the movies, from Mehuna, Sushmita.
But oh, Sahil, again, hearing you speak, my heart just, melts. This is my first time in reality TV also, and I don't know what the heck I was doing. And although I was there very little, I felt like a fish out of water, right? Like I felt like I was just raising up to get enough air and go back. I don't know, maybe now that I've been on a set like that, I don't know if I would be any different, which I feel I would be, but there it just felt like it took me on a complete spiral about who to believe, who not to believe. I could not separate the game from who we are, because you're put in this with these same people, and again, you're watching 1 hour of the episode where we are spending 14 hours with each other throughout the day, right? That 14 hours becomes 1 hour. I don't know what how the editor felt about all of us. It's all on the edit table. I have not seen the show myself yet because I'm in London, and I just got in yesterday with everything that happened. It was just a chaotic day, and I was on an Air India flight, so everybody
Oh,
freaked out.
man.
Yeah. And before I landed, so it's just as soon as I landed, my phone blew up. So it was just handling everybody, and just grateful that we landed safe. We take our lives so for granted, because I'm on a plane in a week, 3 times a week on a average, regular, 3 times a
Sure.
week. And then since it was Air India, it was all the more intense. But having said that, but I know where Sahil's coming from, and I know the pain he felt, because Raftar on the show for me said, I'd met him for the first time, right? He said, I got you. I will not kill you, even if I'm the traitor. Now, there is that some bharosa that you get, that you have somebody known or unknown, because you've never played this game before. So I understand the pain. I'm sure Sahil wouldn't have the same feelings if it was somebody else, but this came from your own family. So I'm sad that he's still hurting about it, because when we got out, we were all just caressing Sahil and making sure he was okay, because he was very damaged. But that is life, I think, right? And really understanding and separating what we do to who we are. And sometimes that gets mingled up. And I think, for all due respect for the people who are traitors, they bloody played the game amazingly well. So,
Yeah, but
as for the game in the
Lakshmi,
show, that
If
landed well.
you,
no,
Lakshmi and Sahil, if you
yeah.
both were traitors, who would you have killed first?
सबसे पहले I would have killed Janvi ji.
Okay. And Lakshmi, what about you?
Actually, thinking about it, it would have been her if I had to pick someone, just because
Yeah,
the day one, I
unfortunately.
was ready to pull my hair out, and it was so surprising. Everybody was going to get rid of her. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Everybody convinced me it's Janvi that needs to go. And I just didn't feel right in terms of how they were looking at it. But now, in retrospect, she would have gone. She's just too
Who do you
much.
think is the
So
strongest and the
I'll
weakest
I will
individual?
I will I will tell you. Sorry, I have to cut it, because otherwise I'll lose my chain of thought, and I have so much to say because I didn't get anything to say on the show because Raj
But
thought I was
Sahil,
cute.
save some for the other interviews. We have 3 hours.
I'll
We
have
don't
to
take
Yeah,
repeat
yeah.
everything everywhere.
Actually, we are short
This
on
is my
time, so
only
that
chance
is
to
why
Yes.
talk.
I was asking to all three of you, who do you think is the strongest contestant and the strongest, who's the strongest contestant and who's the weakest individually?
I don't think there were any weak contestants.
Yeah.
Each of them came with their guns loaded, and they played it amazingly well. I loved Anshula. I mean, I was just like, I felt like a little girl in front of her, although she's younger than me. She was like this big mama who was taking care of everything, and she made so much sense, and she was so logical. And so I really enjoyed Anshula, I always like to be on the forefront and take the stage, but I really enjoyed putting her out there and enjoying who she is as a human being, and it was brilliant.
I double that. I definitely think Anshula one of the strongest contenders. If you've seen the first couple of episodes, she has even gone strong on her auntie, saying, "I think it's you because you said this, you said that." उसने अपने आंटी को नहीं छोड़ा, तो best friend तो दूर की बात है.
What do you think, Sahil?
I think the strongest contestant is Elnaaz. If you
Okay.
have no morals in life and you're on reality TV, there's nothing stopping you because you have sold your morals. If you have your ethics, if your values are minus 25, there's no stopping you. In fact, unfortunately, even on the trailer launch of Traitors, if you can find the footage, that'll be very nice. She categorically said, I can do anything to win in life. In life. These are the women who fail me too because they can do anything to win in life. I'm somebody who's going to trust women blindly. If you tell me, I'm going to be like, I'm with you, sister. I'm your sister. You know what I mean? I'm that guy. But these women who don't apologize after putting you in depression, and these women who say we will do anything to win in life are the players for reality TV because they have nothing stopping them. And because of them, a lot of other women suffer. Women, being a woman means empathy. That's what men need to learn from women. Being a man means being physically strong, hence trying to protect women. These are just gender roles. I'm the most gender fluid man you'll see in the country, even in how I dress. I was wearing my mother's sari cape. I'm that man. I'm so sure of my manhood. If you'll watch the show, you will see it. It was made of my mother's Banarasi saris. These are the things I convey to the world that this is what a man should be. He should have a sensitive side. He should have a polite side. He should stand up for women, not because they need your help, but because unfortunately, God just made you physically slightly different. But God has made them smarter, women. More than smarter, their heart is even cleaner. They are more empathetic. They are called a goddess for a reason. But there are some women who fail womanhood. That's my thing. So she's the strongest player. And the weakest, I think, unfortunately, is Raj. Because whatever said and done, the man is not good at
Yeah,
lying.
man, Raj.
He could.
I
No, I
see.
have to finish this. He could hate me. Raj probably hated me just because I was wearing a cape, or if I was reasonable or not so unpleasant to look at, or could be whatever. There must be some hatred Raj had for me that he pushed for me. He
Zero.
said Sahil only has to go, but I have to finish, Raj. There must be something that must have bothered him about me
I
because
think I
because I have to finish this. In those 2 days, I told him that I was totally with him. He was telling me about his stories, and I was genuinely empathetic. I thought, what a guy! This is a Punjabi guy. Kya dil hai aadmi ka? He came to me at the airport and said, Sahil, Shilpa and I think you are showman. मैं बिच गया यार. I'm from Jammu. मैं जब केंद्रीय विद्यालय में पढ़ाई करी है, शिल्पा शेट्टी का पति मेरे को बोल रहा है वी थिंक यू आर शो मैन और आई थिंक यू आर द शो मैन. आई वाज लाइक यार इस बंदे ने मेरा कितना कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा दिया. आई वाज फीलिंग मच स्मॉलर. बट अगर उन्होंने मुझे निकाला कुछ होगा. बट ही इज द वीकेस्ट प्लेयर बिकॉज ही कांट लाई. That's for sure. If Shilpa, who's such an icon, like I'm a Shilpa Shetty fan. If she
Me too.
thinks he cannot lie, she is right. He cannot lie. He's a bad liar. That's why he got out, unfortunately so soon. So there's no animosity with anybody. Purab I have love for. So it's only my personal story with Elnaaz. She has made me understand that every human is not the same. Every woman is not the same. Every man is not the same.
रिबेल किड और पूरब झा का बहुत ज्यादा नाम हो रहा है जब से शो टेलीकास्ट हुआ है तब से. व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि उनका क्या योगदान रहा है शो में?
For me, the Rebel Kid obviously she won episode 2 because I don't think in the history of Traitors has a traitor been caught on the first table of Shak, and I've seen many episodes and many seasons around the world. So hats off to her for what she thought, how she thought. People on the table were saying, "Arey, hum to dar rahe the Raj ka naam lene se." Why? Yaar? I was the most friendliest of all. But she spotted something, she saw something, and she was good. Hats off. I mean, my wife became a fan, saying, "Wow, ye ladki to matlab so eloquent. She spoke so well, and she nailed it. She really hit that nail in the coffin."
What do you think, Lakshmi?
I mean, just backing what Raj says, right? I mean, these were all the people you have to understand. Komal, I had no idea they even existed in life. And I go on the show, and they were like, I have so many millions and millions. What have you done? Influencers. So that's a term that I get very confused with, because every household has an influencer. Every household. In my house, I have 10, with not leaving my family apart, just my staff. They only have so many things going on. So everybody has a clout for their own in today's world, day and age. So having met them, I was clueless who they are. And I was really impressed in a way that how vocal they were in terms of how they feel about life, because that's not how I was raised or the world that I live in. There are consequences for what you say and how you say it. And are so it was really a different level of meeting different kinds of people from different walks on the totem pole. That's how I felt. And I learned a lot about people I didn't know existed. So it was quite an eye opener for me.
All right. Lastly, अभी तो हमारे पास बहुत कम time बचा हुआ है. So lastly, I want to know is how was your experience with the host Karan Johar? How he entered with a poker face and then he drops something and you all are shocked. वो बहुत interesting लग रहा था. How was your experience with him?
I
I'll
think
go
he
first.
suffered the
Age.
most.
I think age before beauty. You go after me, Lakshmi. I'm the oldest here. I'm just going to say he was fantastic. It was, because I've seen the international versions, and you really have to get into the nuance of being that game master. He was fantastic. He was so like this. We know Karan as the funny guy, coffee with Karan, chat with him. In this, he could not speak to any of us. He had to be just like this, straight, strict. And we were shitting pants because when you have to speak to a guy like this who you've sort of only had laughs and jokes with, and he's just being so serious and looking at you in one particular way. I think he did it so well. The costume, what he wore, the way he did, he really fantastic. I think 10 out of 10 for the host.
I think Karan Johar in general, this is what I feel. He's not just a filmmaker, he's an icon in a true sense. He's somebody who really represents India the way it should be represented. It's not Indian filmmakers are supposed to look a certain way, Indian male actors are supposed to look a certain way, dress a certain way. He's somebody who defies that. As a host, of course, who am I to say that he was good? He was fantastic. This is probably his 50,000th show, and he's such an icon. Like, for me, I feel embarrassed that I have to say what I thought of Karan Johar. Like, he's really the king, man. And but I'm very upset that he took two male traitors and one girl traitor. He should have taken two girl traitor, one male traitor, and I would be saved. So that's what I think. I didn't get the chance because दो आदमी चुन लिया, आदमियों को मैं पसंद ही नहीं आता हूँ शायद. कुछ आदमियों को आता हूँ जिनको आदमी पसंद आते हैं, बट अदरवाइज बाकियों को मैं बहुत खटकता हूँ. ये मेरा बचपन से बहुत सालों से एक्सपीरियंस रहा है. And तो मेरा अभी लग गया उसमें, but otherwise Karan Johar, for me, I feel embarrassed that even I have to say what I thought of him as a host. He's an icon. He's from another planet of magic.
Yeah,
What do you
I'm not
think,
going to talk about him about being a host and how good he was. I mean,
Yeah.
that I know. But what I will say is, I think he suffered the most trying to be so poker, because when we were playing games, I know he wanted to crack and get in and be a part of us.
Exactly.
But I felt like he was actually the one in chains and shackled, and he had to be this game master that is so different from his personality as a human being, right? So I think they did a great. I always say, as a producer, your job is done when you do the right casting. 80% of your movie is made in casting, and I think that the casting was just so perfect. And to see Karan in this different light, because again, you've only seen him banter, this happy-go-lucky guy, to suddenly put this mask on and really deliver is incredible, really.
who do you think should win the Traitors? I know the season has been short and everything, but according to you, who do you think should win?
Anshula.
Anshula.
I think Elnaaz should win. If you've lost at life, you at least need to win a reality show. If you have one friend who comes for your birthday at 12 with a cake, shame on you. You are a bad human being. You should win this reality show.
Thank you so much for your time. It was
Thank
lovely
you.
interacting with
Thank you.
you. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Komal.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.